Welcome back to more Trial of Ascension challenge, everyone. Okay, so this is actually a post-commentary video just because I tried and failed until I finally got it, but I had to do it, not while commentating. I had to focus a bit more on this and be very strategic. So, I did manage to do it, but man, is this floor pretty hard. It really is. It can mess with you fairly easily. I mean, first of all, okay, as you can see, I use the team of Veramos Beretta, Bernard, Amon, and Vertiheel all at level 46 star, and it worked. Basically, every single monster is at max skills except for Beretta, who actually has a lot more potential if I do max his Turbulence and his Phoenix Fire, so there's more potential. Now, Laura and Charlotte are known to be, well, pretty big a-holes, I must say, because they put you to sleep, and then they get an extra turn, and then they use their AoE. Now, what I really hate about this, okay, because usually, what you want to do is provoke, but the entire strategy is to go for the light imp. Basically, only attack the two Occult girls if you can use either Beretta's Turbulence or Amon's Provoke. But that's pretty much it. In any other situation, I mean, I guess you could also use Bernard's Body Slam on them, on the girls if you want, but every other attack, don't focus on the girls first, focus on the imps, specifically the light imp. I had a lot of trouble with this. It took me about 5 tries, and the main thing that I realized was this. I was focusing on the girls a lot and really just, going for DOTs on the imps, and you should be going for DOTs on the, you should be doing it, DOTs on the imps by using Beretta's Phoenix Fire, but you should also focus on them fast, because sooner or later, the light imp, if he's not stunned, which, it could happen with an unlucky AoE, when you don't stun him, but if he does not actually get stunned, he could one-shot one of your monsters with a third skill. I mean, if you guys don't know the potential of the light imp, watch my Taru video, Summoner's War Monster Strategies. That third skill, man, that third skill is ridiculous sometimes. They can one-shot anyone. It's crazy. So yeah, I took care of him, eventually, DOTs and just attacking him with everything I have. And yeah, that worked, and then eventually the Wind Imp on the right side was very important to deal with again. Look at that, Amon just attacked the Allura, because you want to provoke. See, okay, that's the BS that I hate right there. That's the BS that I was talking about. Provoking doesn't entirely work, unlike using Beretta's Turbulence. Turbulence resets the bar back to 0, which is actually a very godlike thing here in TOA. Provoking is the next best thing, and yes, I mean next best thing, especially in the situation in which Occult girls basically resemble violent runes, in a way, because of their first skill. Because if you provoke, and then they put you to sleep, your provoking is useless, because then they're going to go again and use their AoE move, which is so stupid. I hate that. I mean, they are 5 stars for a reason, because they're good monsters for that. God. But yeah, you can't, provoking doesn't work. I mean, it increases the chances of them not using an AoE move, because there's a chance you can resist a sleep, or they just, don't get their RNG for like a 20% chance or whatever it is. But it's not as good as Turbulence. Turbulence is a much better thing to do. Just because, again, oh, see right there it missed, and I was probably pissed right there. I was like, oh my god. And then he puts me to sleep, and then he, okay, that's dickish. Attacks again, sleep again, like, are you kidding me, 2 times in a row? And then attacks me again, and hits me everything. 3 times in a row, man, that's crazy. That was a reference to a Let's Player, by the way, someone says that. I don't know if you guys know who. Yeah, so I actually focused on Charlotte. I mean, the main reason is because I wasn't even paying attention to, like, the third skill of the light one, of Laura. And I'm more familiar with Charlotte and her devastating AoE stuns, which are so absolutely insane. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, but then again I realized eventually that they both actually have it, so there wasn't really any like crazy thing about this. Now in here, Amon died, and I was pissed. I was like, oh, you did not just freaking chain me with your stuns, man, you did not just chain me. So in this situation it looks like I might lose because I'm out of a healer, which means that I really have no way to do anything else. Like, I have no way. I'm like, oh man, I'm done for. But actually, no. You'll see. Somehow, I did manage to, persevere. Now, like I said, this floor's hard. What you need to do is focus on provoking, lowering bars. Actually, if you have other monsters that can lower bars, like Spectra, who actually will do a lot of damage with Special Assault as well. They're good. You can also try Basalt, you know, because he has the AoE lower bars, plus he's a second healer that can help out Amin. You can also, I guess, try Beladion if you want. I'm not sure how much success you could have with Beladion, but Beretta is amazing, you know. You need Beretta for sure. And you can actually probably try Shannon as well, but I'm not sure how much. I mean, you can reduce their speed with Shannon, but also with Spectra. So I guess Spectra is better than Shannon in this situation, because he can do both, plus he can do some pretty high damage. And I mean, the benefit of Shannon would be that she can actually make them glance hit, and that's actually a pretty good thing, because getting a glance hit, oh my god, like, it's just amazing from a boss, you know, if they get a glancing hit. So I did it there. Barely did it, you know, it was definitely hard. Amin died and I was pissed off for a second, but I got my 300 crystal. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, it's still post commentary, but as you can see, it is actually in ×2 speed. Why, you may ask? Because, oh my god, the floors are taking like 8 minutes each, probably closer to 10 minutes. By this point, I can only do like 2 floors per video. So what I figured on doing was this. Hear me out. I should probably put, you know, area 1 and area 2 in every single floor at ×2 speed, and then area 3, which is, you know, the boss room or the mini boss room depending on the floor, I'll keep it at ×1 speed. Because, let's be honest, most people, if they struggle in a room, it's not because of the 2 areas beforehand, it's actually because of the boss, right? I would say yes, it's probably that. So I figured that I should do that now. Bring stunners with you, okay? If you're somehow having trouble with a floor that, you know, area 1 or area 2 of any floor, more likely than not, you know, like if you were to show me your footage, I would be like, you need to bring more AoE stunners, you must. Now, I'm kind of in a little danger zone here because I was actually only having 2 in this situation. What you'll see is that eventually in future videos, I actually do start switching Bernard for Shannon, because I start to realize that having 3 AoE stunners is actually, it's godlike in TOA. It is. I mean, and here I have Veramos, who has Super Crush, which is actually a pretty good AoE. The main reason why I like Super Crush is because it's a 3-turn cooltime, unlike Beretta's, who will probably be a 4-turn. But, I mean, come on, that's because it can also inflict 2 DOTs each. That's OP if it would be a 3-turn cooltime. So yeah, I like Veramos because of that. And, you know, Beretta, like I just said, has Phoenix Fire, which is one of the best AoE moves combined with Despair in the game. Like, it's crazy. 2 DOTs on every single enemy, plus a chance of stunning. And again, like I said, eventually I replaced Bernard with Shannon, so Decelerate is another AoE stun, which works wonders. And then Verti-Heal and Amin, I mean, Amin I just kept him forever, every single time. Basically the only, well, I should say 3, maybe. The 3 monsters that I never switched out from this point forward were Veramos, Beretta, and Amin, because those 3 combined are so amazing. Some people don't want to use Amin, instead they use Beladion or any other healer. You know, if you have Basalt, he works too. But I chose Amin. I mean, first of all, it's because I actually have him, unlike the other ones, but also because I feel like I ruined him properly. Now, the other thing I should say, because it's important to make a note of this, and I'm going to be saying this throughout the next few videos of TOA. Amin is not a violent user for me. He's not. He's just simply not a violent user. Veramos is not a violent user. Verti-Heal is not a violent user. And I'm talking about for me, okay? I'm not talking about that he shouldn't. No. Amin is good with violent ones. I mean, come on. But here's the thing that I'm going to be talking about as we go. And I'll also be mentioning this in the next few videos. People always tell me, and yes, a lot of people, whether it's my guild or indirectly, which means that I actually look online, or, you know, in the comment section, some of you guys are always telling me to put Violent over Swift on most monsters. Now, I understand that perspective, because, first of all, in Arena or Guild, Violent owns Swift. I understand that. Okay, and I know some of you are telling me that, oh, it's because, you know, I'm also going for Arena, so that's why I have this rune set up. Yes, I understand that. Like, for example, someone tells me, put Violent on Veramos over Swift. And then, you know, they give me all these great reasons, and I'm like, yes, I agree with you. You know, they're very valid reasons. First of all, if you're putting Veramos in Arena defense or Guild defense, Violent over Swift, no doubt. No doubt. Because, I mean, first of all, that Come To Us actually gives monsters in defense like a 70% bonus chance of proccing violence, which we all know that they've never officially announced it, but running tests on it, I'm exaggerating with 70%, but the point is that it's higher. If you run tests, you can clearly see it. And I'm not being biased by saying that, by saying, oh, freaking violent runes. I mean, you can see it. Test 100 tries, and 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Look at the chance of the violent runes proccing. It is not anywhere near what Come To Us says they are. So that's the main reason. The other reason is because even if there were a flat 22%, like all the time or whatever, basically violent runes are unpredictable because, it's luck procs. So the AI is dumb in defense because essentially it's a human fighting an AI, which means that 9 times out of 10 a human would win, or maybe 9.5 times out of 10, I don't know. But the point is, defense sucks because it's AI controlled and the AI is stupid in this game, as we all know. So the violent rune luck proc, which is randomized, basically in a way offsets the stupid AI. So having a good violent team can actually make it quite a deadly team in defense if you know how to rune them properly and give them really, really good substats and everything, So that's why. So yes, I'm never going to deny that violent runes are better. I mean, that violent runes are worse. Wait, what did I just say? Oh my, dude, I'm messing up here. I'm never going to say that violent runes are not as good as swift runes in arena or guild defense, because they're not, or even offense, because you probably want, like, if you want to go high in ranks, you gotta have good defense and offense for PvP. So generally in PvP, yes, we all know violent runes are amazing. I understand that, okay? So yes. Now let's talk about PvE. The thing about PvE is that, okay, first of all, the main reason, and yes, I know I've said this multiple times, the main reason why I don't choose violence, and let me just tell you something right now, if you look at my entire monster list, all 16 of my 6 stars, 6-star or 16? I think it's 16. I have 16 level 46-star monsters. All 16 of them do not run violent. Not a single monster runs violent. You might be thinking, why? Like, what the hell? Okay. The main reason is this. I upload content of Summoner's War, and other people have told me this as well. I upload content of Summoner's War, basically tutorials in a way, and other videos of me doing this like TOA. If I were to use violent, and if I were to clear TOA due to a violent proc, due to a huge amount of violent procs, people would then go in the comments section and tell me, you only did it because of luck, like, can you please give me a better tutorial, like actually how to do it, not by luck? And let me just tell you, I've seen that in other videos. I've seen that. So you can't be like, no, they're not going to say that. Some people would say that. They would actually have a problem with it. And, I mean, it would be a big problem because people want to see a proper strategy. Okay, for example, if I were to be fighting like freaking Laura and Charlotte, and I get like freaking 20 violent procs or something with Vertiheal in total, or actually maybe even more, what am I talking about, seriously? If I get like dozens and dozens of violent procs with Vertiheal, people would be like, you only won because Vertiheal freaking filled up your bar like a bajillion times and you owned them because you had like infinite attacks. Which, I mean, if Vertiheal procs with violent, oh my god, is that OP, like it seriously is. So, that would be the issue. People would then tell me, well, I'm runing violent runes with Vertiheal, but he's just not proccing, not having the bad luck, which is very possible. Because again, violent rune proccing is just all luck based, you can't control whether you're going to proc more often or not. I mean, the only way you can indirectly control it is to increase your speed, and thus get more turns, and thus get a chance to get more violent procs, but it's still a chance, so that's the main reason why I don't do it. If I clear TOA stages without violent runes, it's generally more consistent than without. Which means that, and yes, other people have told me this too. For example, run a full team of violent runes in any hard situation. I mean, I'm not going to say Giants 10, because even if you don't proc with violent in Giants 10, it's actually fairly simple if you have the right monsters. But in other situations, run a full team of violent and do it. Clear the same area, Just keep doing it. Like, for example, do, let's say, TOA 80 or TOA 90 with a full team of violent procs, Do it 1 time. Do it 5 times. Do it 10 times. I mean, who the hell would do the same stage 10 times after clearing it? I don't know. Nobody would. But the point is that, you know, if you do it, you'll win sometimes, you'll lose sometimes. Now, sometimes you can actually win every time if you do have, like, godlike runes. But let's face it, not everybody has godlike runes. A lot of people have decent to good runes, you know, maybe great runes, but not godlike. So you'll win, you know, several times. Occasionally you'll lose one. And the main reason, and people have told me this too, is because of violent procs not proccing in certain clutch situations. And, I mean, I have seen videos of other people do this, and even the comment section, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of true. So, the whole general point that I'm trying to make here is that, because I'm providing content of Summoner's War for you guys, I don't want to depend too heavily on luck. Now, is the game entirely luck, like in any situation? In a way, yes. For example, then somebody will be like, well, what if you get Beretta's Turbulence to work at the right time? It's when it didn't fill, like it fell with me, it, you know, it didn't fill with you. Or like, what if you didn't land an attack or defense debuff, you know, at the right time? Okay, everything to this game is luck-based to a certain point. But an argument that people commonly use online, and like the main reason as to why people complain over violent, is that there is essentially no counter for violent runes. Like, there just isn't. Like, if you were to say, oh, it's luck-based because you landed an attack and like Bernard got his body slam, you know, to debuff at the right time. Well, there's a way to counter, you know, or not counter, or whatever, or counter, or I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But there's a way to counter these things. In that situation, it would be accuracy versus resistance, you know? There is a way to improve your luck. There is a way to lower your luck. I mean, you know, getting more accuracy improves your luck. Yes, is the game 100% skill-based? No, there's always a little bit of luck in any RPG. This game is an example. But when people say violent runes, it's like, you can't do anything. Like, even stunning doesn't win. That's the main thing that pisses me off. Okay, I strongly believe that if inability effects were actually counters for violent runes, the violent rune would be perfect. Like, perfectly balanced. As of now, I still consider violent runes, you know, still too good. Still too good. And again, the main reason is because there's essentially no counter. You can say that a stun is a slight counter, but not a hard counter. Because a stun would be like, oh, if you stunned them, they proc, got out of the stun, and now they're going to get an extra turn. But I mean, violent runes are supposed to give you an extra turn, which means attacking, not necessarily to proc out of an inability effect, which is strategic. So, in a way, it's not entirely, you know, like, it's partial luck, it's partial, I don't know what to say about that, I really have no clue. Now, this entire video might be like, you might be thinking that it's me attacking violent runes. No. I don't hate violent runes. I just think they need to be worked on a bit more for them to be truly balanced compared to other runes. And, you know, it's just, I don't know, because I've played so many RPGs in my entire life since I was a kid, you know, starting from Final Fantasy to a lot of other Japanese RPGs, whatever. And honest to God, I've never seen something as crazy as violent runes just having, like, again, everything in the game is slight luck based. Anything in any RPG is slight luck based. But the amount of luck based that violent runes provide for the game of Summoner's War, it excels any other luck based factor of any other RPG game I've ever seen in my life. Like, it doesn't equate to the same level of skill compared to any other RPGs, and I mean, you could probably try and argue that, but I don't know. The way I see it, it's just very difficult to do. And again, I'm not using violent runes, even though, I mean, in a way I probably wish I wanted to, especially if I go for arena or guild eventually, but like defense. But the main reason why I don't do it is because I do not want to win a TOA stage by violence proccing at the clutch moments. I don't want that. Instead, I'm going for consistency, because if I then tell you, oh, I'm using Swift Energy on Veramos, which is what I'm doing, actually I'm trying to switch to Nemesis over Energy, but whatever, you know. Swift Energy. I mean, Veramos' speed is consistent. It's Swift based, you know, it's speed, just pure speed. So if you were to say I'm having trouble, I would say, you know, compare your Veramos to mine. Does yours have as much speed as mine? Mine actually does not have all that much. It's like 185 or something, which is actually not a lot, but you know, or stats in general. You know, does yours have more HP than mine? More attack's not too important on him, but yeah, you know, you get the point. And there are reasons to actually, you know, get your monsters up to mine, and that's the main reason why I don't want to use violent runes and clear stages or any PvE environment due to procs, which I don't want. So I don't know. Again, I don't hate violent runes. I don't. In fact, they're good. You know, like, how can you hate violent? Well, I mean, I guess you could hate and envy them, but in a way, I don't envy them because I actually would use them if I wasn't doing YouTube videos. I really would use them and, you know, join the club. So yeah, anyway, floor 83 is done, and with that, this video is finished. So next time we will continue with floor number 84. Thank you for watching, goodbye everybody, and as always, until next time.